Dope is a smaller film you may not have heard of, but it is in a wide release this weekend, a small wide release. It is about 3 high school kids who aren't really the most popular kids in school. They've chosen to be different in almost every single way. They're obsessed with 90s hip-hop. They like to dress like they're right out of an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They have their own band in which they write their own original music. And our lead character is a humongous geek who still plays Super Nintendo. And when he accidentally gets involved with the wrong group of people, he has to do everything he can to stay who he is and maintain his dignity. Dope is an extremely original movie. I haven't seen a movie like this in a long time. It's filled with excellent performances, especially the lead, Shameik Moore. And dude, I apologize if I said your name wrong, because you are a class act talent, my friend. This guy is so good in this film. He was so good at being this character, this guy who gets picked on in school all the time, but he never really looked like he was trying to get sympathy from the audience. He never really tried to be tear-jerky, you know? He was always very real. And that's a really hard thing to do when you're playing a character who's in a rough area of town, who gets beaten up, who doesn't have a lot of money, who just doesn't fit in. And he's never asking the audience, like me, just because of these things. He is so good in this movie. In all honesty, everyone is really good in this film. Zoe Kravitz is also in it. It's probably the best I've ever seen her. But what I loved about this movie was the director's original point of view. The editing, the shot structure, the cinematography, the music, especially the soundtrack. Oh my gosh, what a great soundtrack. This movie was so energetic. It had such a charisma to it. Now, the rough area these kids are growing up in is called Inglewood, California. Now, I've been there. The first time I went to LA, I actually stayed in Inglewood with my buddy John Flickinger, the Flick Pick. We stayed in a hotel in Inglewood. The first room we got there actually had legit toenails in the bed sheets. I'm not kidding. We asked for a different room, and that one was a little bit better. But let me just say, the depiction of this area, it's accurate. Because I remember when I stayed there, all I heard was yelling, shouting, and sirens. It was not fun. And that's another thing the director did a really good job with. He made this location feel like a character, like a living, breathing thing. And the movie has a lot of messages or morals that it's trying to get across to the audience. Some of it works really well, others not so much. One of the ones that doesn't is there's this entire side scene where someone's ranting about Obama and some of his decisions. It just didn't really work in the movie. There were times like that in this movie where it was very preachy. The overall message of the movie, though, is that it doesn't matter what neighborhood you are from, what kind of income you or your family has, or what skin color you have. You can follow your dreams. You can be successful. There is one kind of really questionable message in the movie, though, and I can't really say it because it's a spoiler. Someone gets the respect of someone who was bullying this individual a lot by doing something really bad. And the film is kind of like, this is what you have to do to get people to respect you. And I was like, ugh, that's gross. Besides that, I really enjoyed Dope. I thought it was an extremely well acted, charismatic film with great editing, a great soundtrack, and a really original point of view. I'm gonna give Dope a B+. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. I strongly appreciate it. And if you did see this movie, I'm curious to know what you thought of it below. And as always, thank you once again. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.